Okay, let's go ahead and start then. Welcome all. Let's see, I have a PowerPoint presentation and I am going to share the screen with technology. This is always kind of, let's see.
I just want to ask a
Yeah,
favor.
yeah.
Sometimes we will interrupt and one person will make us summarize in Albanian because some
Ah,
of participants need some clarification in Albanian, just to summarize. Sometimes when I will see that it's a technical part, don't worry, not during all the meeting.
absolutely. Okay, perfect. Yeah, yeah. Just let me know when. I'll leave that to you. Here we go. Share screen and there. Okay. So there. Good. I mean, relatively good. All right, so welcome to our Commons and Practice kickoff. I'm very excited, and hopefully we will see this turn into a fruitful project. I just want to share the agenda with you, the short introduction of everybody involved, the organizations, as well as some brief information about Dures will be the first item on our agenda, and then we can move on afterwards. My name is Yilmaz. I'll be the project organizer, let's say, sort of, with help from David, who is also with us here. David, your hand. There you go. There's David. He's also a part of the Eutropian team. Um, to perhaps introduce Eutropian, Dani or Bahana would like to perhaps briefly discuss. And let's try to keep it short as well. Maybe just a few sentences or a few paragraphs because there's a lot of people. So would one of you like to introduce what we do as Eutropian and who we are?
So hello everybody, once again, I'm Daniela, together with Bahanur, Yilmaz and David. We're part of the Eutropian team, which is based in Vienna with some tentacles in Rome, where I am, and in Budapest, where some of the other colleagues are. As Eutropian, we are an organization that works in collaborative urban practices, which means that we advocate for urban justice. We work together with local communities, public administration, social private sector to try and develop joint projects for improving the environment we're working in. And we do this through research projects and through local experimentations. And this is what we would like to share with you. So this, you can see the picture of our team. Also with some child exploitation, very young members that are the mascots of the team. And
Daniela, sorry, just to summarize a little bit.
Yeah. So here you see the picture with the team. We are a mixed team of different nationalities with also different expertise. We're predominantly coming from two fields. One is architecture and planning and sociology, and one is creative industries, video making, graphic design, storytelling. And we try to bring together these two expertise to try and create new narratives of cities, capacity building for local communities, and new visions. And we try to do this through our projects and through our researches. So I'll put in the chat, as Eutropian, you will find our projects that are related to commons, and this is what also we would like to share with you these days. But we also have articles on stories that are happening around Europe through the Cooperative City magazine. And we would be very happy. We don't have any stories from Albania. Am I correct, Yilmaz, Bahanur? So I think we really have to make sure that we also get some beautiful stories from what you're doing.
Thank you, Dani. Perfect. That's a very nice introduction. If you'd like, we can put in the website info as well as the Cooperative City info in the chat so people can refer to it. Mira, I give the floor to you. Perhaps you can just talk about yourself, and other participants can also briefly introduce themselves as well.
Yes, I am Mira Manțacu, the executive director of the organization Udhëtimi Lir, Liberi di Viaggiare in Durrës, Albania. We work here since 2050. Our most common topics are environment, tourism, cultural heritage, and youth. Also, we work with human rights, active citizens, and there are other projects that we are involving. As an NGO, we have, during our 5 years of existence here in Durrës, we have done a lot of activities and a lot of projects in Durrës, Albania, but there are some others in international level, mostly with European partners, and this is one of our new directions that we want to collaborate with different partners from all around Europe and maybe in the world. Since 2 years now, we have also a youth center where we organize the activities with youths. And also we have close collaboration with Durrës municipality, with whom we have a memorandum of understanding, with Capacities municipality, with AACT municipality, that are close municipalities that are small but close to Durrës, also with Durrës region. And we are becoming a factor now in our city, since we are present in different aspects of development of Durrës region. Also, we have been experts for different projects, and during this year, even that the organization is a new one, let's say, the staff that is involved has a bigger experience in civil society, up to 20 years of experience in different aspects, but most of us in civil society. And the expertise is in different levels, law expertise or development expertise, architect or environmental expertise, economic expertise. So this is more or less a short presentation based to this project and our work. But the representatives that are here also are close to our work, and it's not the first time that we collaborate with them or are stakeholders in our activities and in our projects.
Great. Let's hear from them as well, perhaps, if other stakeholders and representatives would like to briefly introduce themselves. Mira, I'll leave it to you to invite, because you know them. We don't know them, and we're just going to get to know them now.
Okay, I'll invite the persons, first of all, the persons who has not difficulties with English, but also the persons with no technical problems. Ina, can you introduce?
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you even virtually. I'm Ina Lushka, head of European integration in the municipality of Capacities. As Mira said, we recently have a closed relation in implementing projects in the municipality of Capacities with the Mira's organization, and till now we are a very good way to bring the good best practice that Mira has implemented in Durrës municipality into Capacities municipality. So thank you.
Thanks, nice to meet you.
Mario.
Hi, everybody.
Okay.
From Regional Council Durrës, it's me, Yovanika, head of EU section department in Regional Council. Okay, of course, we feel happy to be part of this kickoff. It's a new experience. Shortly from something from Regional Council. Council of Durrës covers 3 main municipalities, that is Durrës, Kruja, and Šiak. It is very important, the region in the country. In this region, the population is around 400,000 inhabitants. In terms of the economy and development, in the region is the main airport of the country, is the main harbor of the country, and let's say we come as far as development after the capital, after Tirana. Of course, region has a lot of targets, starting from economy, going to social protection, reduce of unemployment, education, healthcare, and everything. In this case, we are going to be part of this, let's say, involvement, supporting the team leader, Liber Viaggiare, in this project. And we can add that we have had in good connections with, let's say, with this partner. She has been part of some projects that Regional Council has been implementing in terms of MAD projects, Interreg, horizontal projects, and some others. We have been recruiting this partner, and their expertise has been, let's say, almost perfect in all the fields of the project. So that's all from Regional Council, Durrës.
Okay, Linda.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
If
I'm
you can
Linda.
speak in English or in Albanian, somebody will translate.
Yes, I'll try to talk in English. Hi to everybody. Nice to hear and see you in this meeting. I'm Lindita Zeka from Prefecture of Durrës. I represent the Department of Development, Urbanistic Development. And I think this meeting will be useful for everyone of us, and we'll share the experience, and maybe we'll talk about the problems in the urbanistic area. So let's hear and then discuss, I think. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
I'd invite also Vilma from Durrës municipality. Okay, Vilma is representative from municipality, from the tourism sector. She told before that maybe the microphone will not work, but she's trying also. Okay, let's wait some time until everything is going okay. And we are following with Erisilda. Silda, if you cannot speak in English, just speak in Albanian, and Angie will translate. With these problems?
No, it's perfectly okay. It's understandable. We can also wait for them, or we can resume, and when they have time, they can jump in if it works.
Okay. Vilma just confirmed that she has no microphone. She's present, but she cannot speak here. Okay, Angie, you can follow.
Right.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Angie Lipa. I'm a graduate in political science and international relations and a youth activist for 5 years almost. I've been involved with Societal Team Liber di Viaggiare since my beginnings of my activism, and I've been involved in many projects in local, national, and international level as well. And in this initiative, I will be following also helping with the translation, some of the members, and I'm looking forward to all the information that we're going to take today.
Okay, we will follow, and then when the others will have no technical problem, we can continue with their presentation in the moment that they will be present. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Very nice to meet you. And to those without a voice, very nice to hear about you. Hopefully we can meet you. Okay, so what do we want to do with the comments? And yes, Bahanur, go ahead, please.
So the idea for the Commons in Practice is that we try to support you in your local initiatives, that we find collective solutions or improvements for your commons in the region of Durrës and all the cities which are participating in this. So this is what we wrote in the application. But other than that, we have also the hidden agenda of getting more stories, like Daniela said before. Plus, we would like to establish a relationship with you. So this agenda project idea is very rough. It should be, first of all, useful for you. So in this kickoff, we would like to understand what the status quo is in your region or in your city with commons. Do you have already commons implemented? Are you having strategies or goals in this regards? Would you like to establish, or to understand where you are standing a bit, so we can have a fruitful production of the workshops and so on. Mira, would you like to comment, or also the city representatives, would you like to enlighten us what you aim or what would be useful for you in this project?
So, in fact, during this period, we had a lot of change. We see that there are a lot of changes and a lot of different situations, not only in our region or in Europe, but in all the world. And based on this, we are open to see and to have better ideas and to have more information about the good practices happening all around. As you know, Durrës last year, in fact, on 26th of November, it just after some days, it came 1 year that we had a terrible earthquake, and Durrës now is in the process of reconstruction with most of our parts. And based on this situation, when the project was accepted, and I was happy even for the fact that now that we are in this phase, the experience of other countries that had not passed the tragedy that we had, but they had make new plans for their cities, for their lives, for their all organization. It will be helpful for us to share, and then we can practice it in our city. And in this phase, it's really important for us to share this experience and to share this updated version of what we can do and how can we organize. Since also the COVID situation also makes us a little bit change our minds about a lot of perspectives, a lot of problems, a lot of plans about the future, not only in our lives, but also in the community.
Would the city representatives like to comment to you? What would you like to achieve with this project or start? Where are you standing? Do you have already dedicated buildings or sites as commons, or where do you have difficulties? Maybe just share what you expect, what you wish in this project.
Mario?
Yes, hello. I'm Mario from the Regional Council of Durrës. I would say the experience from this project would help us to gain some more knowledge transferred from best practices in other countries. So knowledge on local urban development would be very useful, which can be transferred from best practices abroad to our country. Therefore, I would say better knowledge from the other experiences abroad would be very useful for the Regional Council of Durrës and Durrës, and to implement it here in our country would be the main benefit from our participation to this project. This is what I believe is the main benefit for our participation.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
Ina, would you like to also comment something, or shall we continue? Okay, maybe we continue with the slides.
All right. So we came up with this workflow for another BACID project that we did, which also took place in Albania. There's various tasks that need to be done to come up with this roadmap, or with let's say best practices manual. So, because I feel that this is where it's going, a best practices manual, perhaps in this regard. The first thing from our Albanian partners, the first step would be to offer Daniela and the Eutropian team and the experts kind of data collection and preparation for the workshop. We heard from you, but perhaps a bit more on the region, the policies, the goals, and the wishes of the Durrës region in general. Just to give them an idea of what to be looking at. The information and context, as well as various ideas that perhaps you might have previously brainstormed about, thought about, or stakeholders might have come up with. The potential in these commons, what the ownership situation is. You know, in some parts of the world, you have situations where there's like 50 stakeholders in a single building. In other parts, there are less stakeholders. In other parts, in some sites, it's just owned by the municipality, which makes it a bit easier or a bit more difficult depending on the regulations. But either way, how these sites, how the relationships and how the stakeholder relationships work, perhaps a brief description once more for the expert team. And yeah, the stakeholder alliances, which is also crucial here. You know, who is involved, who should be involved, who can we invite to the workshop. I know that Mira has already probably brainstormed about this and has a list, I'm guessing. Yeah, Bahanu, normally, what is the general flow with this kind of workflow? How does it work in terms of time, and what would you suggest?
So as Yuma said, we need a kind of a documentation, a starting point. Since we are not in Albania, we are not going to be in Albania. You have to be our eyes, you have to be our ears, you have to describe us what sites could be turned into commons, how does it work with the city administration, are those buildings available for free or with little rent, or all those things have to be kind of prepared, that we have a situation where we can work on a fictive project and establish the steps, what you have to consider in which phase, and where you have to, what outputs you can expect after each step. And we, as our, on the other hand, will try to find the appropriate examples for you as an input and prepare them as a kind of like a guide. It can be a questionnaire, it can be something where we break the steps into a kind of manual and go through with you. So Daniela is developing a kind of a role game, which we will be employed. But for this, we need a lot of information from you. So the steps, the examples can be appropriate. And we had partners in also other projects who can do this exploration, context, description, and so on within 1 week. We had partners who needed months. And since we are a little bit on time pressure, we think this whole preparation shouldn't take more than 3-4 weeks, so that we can do the workshop, the real exchange moment with the 3 workshops in December. That would give us another month to write everything down, edit, layout, and make all the bureaucracy stuff with evaluation forms, timesheets, and all invoices and all those things. And yeah, those are the steps which we need to take in account. And for the moment, we noted that you are interested in international examples. We need a little bit more guidance. What do you need? Do you need information or assistance in developing collaboration contracts between activists or NGOs and the city owners, the city municipality, and so on? Or do you need a working scheme? Do you need a moment to think about what kind of collaborations could happen in the commons? So we need a little bit more elaborated data collection goals and so on, so we can have a meaningful workshop then.
I think in that context, we would also probably need the kind of commons, you know, what is it? Is it a social commons? Is it an artistic initiative? Is it an urban site? What kind of commons are we looking at, so that we could probably compile the relevant examples from across various European contexts. What do you think, Mira? What are your thoughts?
In fact, yes. In fact, when we were thinking about the project in the very beginning, it was just this good practices, even in not reconstruction, but in the making different places or different buildings or areas of the city. How can we manage to do it more public, or where the persons can be all participants there, but also how we can involve the community to give their best ideas and to make this place useful for them. Also in the direction of environment, how can we manage to improve some environmental aspects of our spaces here, based on the experience or in the project that during this time I've seen that Eutropia and Cooperative City is implementing. Also, one really important part that I want to emphasize is that since Durrës is archaeological city with a lot of archaeological sites and historical sites, how can we make them more visible to raise the number of tourists, since the development of tourism is the one of the strongest pillars of our development. So for example, we have the amphitheater 3000. Durrës is 3000 year of civilization city. We have an amphitheater here. We have the Venetian tour. We have Roman baths, and a lot of are more than 20 or 25 points, historical and archaeological sites that you can visit in a small area around Durrës center and Durrës city. So based on the experience, for example, of Rome and Vienna, where these sites are valuable, and this is not something that comes from a day to another, but it needs some practice, it needs strategy, it needs action plan to be developed. These were some commons or some best ideas that I was thinking when we set this common in practice for our city. As Jovan from region said, we are the second city in region in Albania, the second after the capital. So the resources, we have a lot of resources, but maybe this kind of ways or strategies or information would help us in this direction. I don't know if Linda can add something also. Linda, you can speak even in Albania.
Jo, për momentin nuk kam çfarë të shtoj, jam dakord me ato që thatë ju. Thjesht do doja që të përqendroheshim tek prezantimi i projektit, nëse do të thënë sa më kështu që të shikojmë edhe neve pikat e përbashkëta më pas. Faleminderit.
Okay, so Linda just mentioned that she has nothing to add and agrees with everyone that spoke before her, and she's looking forward to the presentation and to the tasks that each of us has to fulfill.
Great. Dani, perhaps you might want to chime in here on the topics that we've just spoken about and what your thoughts are.
Yeah, no, thanks a lot for the inputs and so on. I think what would be, just as Bahanur and Yilmaz were saying, I think it would be very good if maybe you can, in the meantime, share with us some material that we can also study, so that we can also have a better idea of what are the inputs that you've been telling us about. If you have anything in English, fantastic. If you don't, maybe if it's not too complicated, Google Translate is okay, or maybe you can give us a synopsis in English, and I don't know, we can figure out the best way for the preparation. And then as Yilmaz was mentioning earlier, we're planning on having sort of let's say a game, an adult serious game, so that we can try and engage the stakeholders in developing the mapping of the stakeholders, the actions that you would like to carry out, the resources that you would need in order to really foster the cultural assets that you have in your city with your local communities. So in order for us to help us to prepare the activities, if you have anything that you would like to share that you think would be useful, whether it's, for example, some specific spaces, you might have some specific spaces of heritage that you're already working on that you would like to share with us, even if it's, I mean, it doesn't have to be a fully compiled document and so on. Let's keep it simple, but if you have already some material, it would also help us to understand which direction you would like to go.
Yeah, great. Because
can I please translate for
yes,
the members?
Please do so, please.
Praktikisht ajo çka Daniela po thoshte është që në vazhdim të këtij projekti, pas këtij prezantimi, partnerët tanë ndërkombëtar kanë përgatitur një lojë dhe një aktivitet në cilin do përfshihen të gjithë, le të themi, partnerët që janë sot në këtë takim, dhe ideja kryesore dhe qëllimi kryesor do të jetë pikërisht ndarja e detyrave dhe roleve dhe përgjegjësive që do të kenë në vazhdim. Detyra e parë për gjithë secilin nga ne është që do të bëjë një mbledhje të dhënave, pra materiale të ndryshme të cilat do duhet t'i ndajmë dhe t'i përgatisim për t'ia dërguar partnerëve ndërkombëtar në mënyrë që ata të jenë sa më efikas dhe metodologjia që të përdorin t'i përgjigjet nevojave tona në nivel lokal dhe komunitetit në nivel lokal. I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I guess the key thing here is we've moved online because of the restrictions. So our experts would like your input and feedback so that they can develop and gain a general understanding. Normally we would be there, we would come there, and on site we would obtain all of this input, but unfortunately that doesn't seem possible. So that's that, yeah. Bahanur, do you have something to add?
Since you are interested a lot in heritage development, let's say, we were wondering, we have this open heritage project, which you saw in the one slide. We developed 7 case studies, but also films, which should be easy to understand. And we were wondering if you, as the Albanian partners and stakeholders, would like to, it can be digital, it can be in a room if you are allowed to, create an evening or an activity where you watch the films, which could give you an understanding what steps are necessary to develop such objects, what the kind of models are already available, and it would help us because you would more or less speak the language which we developed and have a feeling for the faces and so on. I was wondering, it's more a question directly to Mira and also to the others, if they would be interested in having a movies night. It's 7 films with 7 minutes and so on. And I think it could be a good preparation before the workshop. What do you say?
It will happen in the same day with the workshop, or it will be?
It would be in the next 3-4 weeks before the workshop. So it as a preparation in these days.
Just to give you an example, what we did is we traversed across Europe back when traveling was not an issue, and we gathered the best case studies of open heritage sites, which are also quite related to commons as well, some of them. And we created, I was involved heavily in the process, 7 documentary films that are short, but it gives you the general financial structure, the governance structure of some of these commons initiatives, how they came to be, their history, how they exist, the change they created in the society. So it might be interesting. There's, a case from Lisbon, a case from Berlin, a case from Torino, etc. So it might be interesting and valid, and perhaps we can do, I think that's a great suggestion, Bahner. We could do a movie night and have a brief chat afterwards, depending on availability, of course.
In fact, if it's, I think that if it will be in the afternoon and it's just something that is not so imperative, most of the representatives can join, but we will decide at what time or when it will be possible.
Great, I like that. Okay.
And in fact, as I said and as I mentioned, we are really, let's say, eager to learn and to see some practices, and it will be better if you can share with us your practices, and then we can adapt and see what can we do it here. For example, if I think that rise the number of tourists during this pandemic period, making some online videos or something like this can fit, for example, in another country, in Tirana, for example. In Durrës, it doesn't work like this. But let's see what we can adapt here and what we can do in this dimension. That's why we want to have more information, more useful practices to see, and then to mix and to adapt here for Durrës reality. Since not only pandemic, but as I said, we are in the process of reconstruction. For example, 2 other representatives that just leave now from municipality, they had an urgent meeting because they had a meeting with our mayor. In fact, he's not elected mayor. We had some changes from June last year till now. We have 4 mayors that change, replace one to another because of the difficult situation that it's here. Also, with the internet, since they are reconstructing a lot of buildings and a lot of neighbors, we have interruption of these facilities that when you think in the first moment, you say, well, what's happening? This is something normal, just a phone call or a Zoom call. But the reality here in Albania, mostly in Durrës, it's a little bit difficult and has to be adapted in some times and in some cases. And we need more, let's say, more private time to do and to prepare the things, and then to be well prepared for the workshop and for the report and for the best practices that we would like to present. And in the same time to gather the most important practices, but most important commons that we can use, because this situation will end. We will not be like this always. And for that moment, we want to be prepared to rebuild our lives and our city. I don't know if you understand or.
Yeah, I believe so. It's quite clear. I think we can create such a roadmap. What do you think, Bahanur, in terms of the input necessary for this? Do we, or?
I think we can compile an information kit, like with all the articles and the dialogues we had on Cooperative City. I compiled already some articles we had on Cooperative City, then also put there the case studies from Open Heritage with the links to the films, and creates a kind of info pack, kind of like introductory. And maybe then Mira can have a look and share it also with all the participants today. And as that, creating a moment where you have movie watch, discuss, just write down or compile what you find interesting, with what you didn't think about, or with all those things. So, and then maybe that takes the first week, and then you feed us with information if you have already, like the information about Durrës, what is the region, what kind of places could be developed as commons, all those things. Then slowly move over to stakeholders who could be the lead or interested in this, and so on. And then we can have the workshop with all those elements if we know what kind of places are there available, what kind of interested people we have. And then we can compile, bring those elements together in the workshop. I think I would see it like that. So it would take approximately 3 weeks. And we could schedule in the second week of December already the workshop if you like to.
Great. So let's go over the, let me just continue on with the PowerPoint thing, because what you said leads into this, Bahanur. Here we go, the workshop and the production of the materials, right? So I don't know how we can do this, but the original intent, and this is how we did the other project as well, was to have 3 workshops. The first one would be an in-depth analysis and exchange of the locations, about the region, about the stakeholders, where you know, we would sit down and discuss all of these and get input from you and brainstorm about this. Yeah, and then this is where, as you said, best practices that Eutropian and Cooperative City have compiled over the years and that we have access to. We're also part of the Generative Commons project, which also researches commons and creates a map of the commons throughout Europe. And here, actually, we can also probably add some of your commons initiatives into the map, but we can discuss this later. But here, that should take about an hour, where we, through Eutropian, we offer the best practices, the best examples, and this can perhaps even be combined with workshop 1 at the tail end of it for about an hour, where Dani and Bahner can share some examples, some case studies with you, relevant case studies, which is also why the data that you're going to feed us is important, so we can select the case studies that are relevant to the data. And then, the workshop 3, depending on the number of participants, will be the creation of the roadmap. So if it's a manual, it'll be a creation of a manual. If it is a specific site, then we can create a roadmap for the specific site. But here, depending on the technical devices available by everyone and the possibility of interaction, we can either do it with a core group, or we could have breakout rooms where we go into different rooms and everyone comes up with an idea and with various suggestions, and then we compile them into the manual. And then after that, we will elaborate the content and prepare for publication over 2 weeks. And the editing and layout should take 3 weeks, at which point we will have the whole thing available and ready. So that's the general, let's say, guideline. What are your thoughts about this, and what do you think about this? Is this doable? Does it make sense? Are there any questions? We would love to hear what your thoughts are. I guess, Mira, you or the stakeholders or anyone else involved in the project, if they have any feedback in regards to the process.
Okay, about the time frame. In fact, for me, it's okay, but maybe we will need to add one or maximum 2 weeks in this time frame, just to give more space for everybody, because I really want to be involved as much as possible, all the stakeholders that we planned to be, and to make them sure that they are present in each of these activities. Just some more time to fit with all of them, to have better results, or to have the results that we would prefer for the project.
I think it would be also good. We didn't plan this ahead with the local activities in Albania, with all the material we will provide you. I think it would be also very, very good if you could note questions. Yes. So we can, for the second workshop, where we have the examples from other places, that we can highlight how those examples solve those questions or problems and issues and so on. So that would be very, very useful to addressing your issues, I think.
That's why I asked some time, because all the materials that you will send, especially the movie and everything, I will share to all the representatives, even the one who is missing, the deputy mayor and the other representative from municipality. So they will have more time to have a look and to give their remarks and their comments on this. But they really need their proper time to do this. And also the other persons that can be involved in this activity, media, for example, will need the proper time to prepare. But as soon as I will have the materials and share them, I will go and represent by myself everything, and collect all their comments and prepare maybe a document, Word document or something that can help us in the ongoing activities. Just a moment that Angie can translate for the representatives.
Okay, so basically what, sorry, I started in English. My
language.
sorry. Atëherë çfarë diskutuam deri tani është le të themi plani I punës për sa I përket vazhdimësisë. Le të themi do të kemi një fazë parapërgatitore për 3 workshope të cilat mendohen zhvillohen gjatë periudhës së dhjetorit deri në fund të këtij muaji, paktën sipas parashikimeve do të kemi kohë që të përgatisim le të themi materiale të cilat duhet t'ia dërgojmë partnerëve tanë dhe ndoshta në pjesën e workshopeve sipas atyre që janë planifikuar deri tani, në pjesën e parë do të ketë një analizë të mirëfillt të detajuar të situatës ku jemi, ndërkohë që në workshopin e dytë do të kemi input dhe exchange shkëmbim informacioni dhe input nga partnerët ndërkombëtar. Në workshopin e tretë do të kemi roadmapin I cili do të ndërtohet në bashkëpunim të ngushtë me gjithë le të themi partnerët, me gjithë personat e përfshirë në këtë projekt dhe më pas do të jetë le të themi prezantimi I produkteve të cilat do të dalin nga këto workshope, të cilat do të zgjidhen së bashku, domethënë duke rënë dakord së bashku me partnerët dhe me gjithë personat që do të përfshihen. Okay, that's it.
Great, thank you. I believe that Dani has to leave pretty soon. She has another call, and I guess we could take this as also a farewell because I know everybody has a tight schedule. So I guess just to lay out shortly the roadmap, what we can do from this point on is we could schedule the movie night, and then we will receive the input from you. At which point we can do workshop 1 where we talk about the input and discuss it. And then there we can also plan the other workshops. We can exchange the information. I can write an email detailing this out so that we can discuss it and we can time it. Of course, we're flexible. And the main thing is to have a project that's representative of the quality that we can bring. So yeah, there's no point in, you know, keeping to the deadlines if we can't come up with something that's of good quality. Yes, Dani.
I just would like to say then goodbye from my side. And it was I was just writing, it was a real pleasure. We were commenting in our chats that it's such a shame that this historical moment is so crazy, because I would love to come to visit you at the beach in Albania, even if it's in November. So we hope that we will be able to meet in person soon and discover your city, because it's never the same from Google Maps and so on. But we hope to see you very soon, and it was a pleasure to start this work together. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you. Our pleasure too.
Thank you very much, and looking forward to work with you. Have a nice day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Looking forward to continuing this. And yeah, is there any last words or anything anyone would want to add before we bid farewell?
No.
Well, from my side, I think it's clear.
Because
we have our first step.
We also we planned as a kickoff meeting quite 1 hour, and now we are in the phase just to see and to receive information.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the whole point, that we get to know each other, that we introduce each other, and we briefly discuss the roadmap and take some time to reflect over, because there's a lot, but yeah. Well, all right then. Have a wonderful day and a fruitful week, rest of the week. And Mira, I will send you later on today when I have time to gather my thoughts.
Yes.
An extensive email, and we can plan from there onwards, hopefully with all the stakeholders and everything. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you for the meeting. It was a pleasure to meet you, even virtually, but to meet you and to begin the work in this beautiful project. Thank you.